All right. Welcome back to the channel, everyone out there on YouTube. I appreciate you tuning in today to this video. This is a live trade recap or breakdown covering the trade that I took today, which I posted to our Discord community and basically stated that if there was enough interest, I would break down this trade so that everyone could grasp or get an understanding of this powerful play that took place, okay? I trade supply and demand, and there's a few things or confirmations that I look for in trading the strategy in which I trade, okay? Now, there are plenty of videos here on the channel to where you can watch and grasp an understanding, possibly learn how to trade the strategy I trade. So if you're interested in doing so, I highly recommend you going back and watching some of the videos. There are also live recorded trading sessions where you can see me, where I post my trades covering the entries I've taken, okay? So, as well as good informational topic videos. But anyways, breaking back down, getting to this video here, covering the supply and demand trade that I took. Now, this was based on a supply setup, okay, off of a higher time frame. Yes, it is imperative, guys, to really focus on what's going on the higher time frame, okay? Some people like to trade just from one chart and not even look at a higher time frame chart. Smack on the hand if you're doing that, okay? You really have to grasp an understanding of what's going on in the bigger picture, all right? Now, I'm not saying that you can't take a trade strictly off of a lower time frame chart, but keep in mind those entries may be very short-lived, and you need to understand that the higher time frame is what is going to put you in a better position and to take a better trade, okay? Now, my setup today was basically inspired by the higher time frame, which was the 60R, okay, the 60 range charts, because I trade range-based charts. Now, let's jump into it, okay? So, first and foremost, what I saw here was the market was basically, bullish, okay, last few days, okay? It's been making higher highs and higher lows. But what I really aimed to see was that, and focused on, was that I saw we had a supply zone sitting right up in this area here. Let me squeeze this in a little bit so I can take a look. We tapped into, okay, around the 70 area. Now, 70 is also a pivot area or level that a lot of traders don't know about, the 70 and 40 area. But so we had the confirmation or the confluence with the 70 area, as well as we tapped into this supply zone here, okay? Now, this was an untested area of supply that had not been mitigated yet, okay? So on the higher time frame, the 60 range chart, again, supply zone we tapped into. Once we're into a higher time frame area with a supply at, look, I'm not looking to take any long entries. I need to see, and I want to see price basically at this point here basically break an area of structure to the downside, okay, on a lower time frame, okay? So first and foremost, tap into a higher time frame area of supply. Secondly, I want to see a break of structure to the downside on a lower time frame. So what I did was I moved on down to my 12 range chart, okay? What I saw here was a little, this last push to the upside here where price tapped into that area of supply on the 60 range chart. Then price rejected. We wicked out here. Now, we didn't get multiple wicks there in a sense. Lots of times what you'll see is on a lower time frame chart, if you start to get, or any time frame chart really, if you start to see area where there's lots of wicks taking place at a higher low, that means that price is having a hard time pushing through that area. Which in turn means that there could be a possibility that price is going to turn around and start looking for lower areas, okay? So, didn't see that really there, but we did get, or I saw where price was moving to the downside, meaning that in the opposite direction, we got a red candle, another red candle, and then price breaks lower. It breaks to this swing area right here. Now, if I scale down even to a lower time frame chart, I really want to see if this area right here was possibly the area of where there's a break of structure at, an area of structure, I should say. So let me blow up my 4 range chart here, okay? And what time of day was this right here? All right, let's do this. Okay, give me 1 second. So the same area you see right here at the price started rejecting at that area of supply off the higher time frame. This is on my 12 range chart. I noticed price started to break lower and it broke below this little, broke below the swing area here, which was an area of structure. When I look over at my 4 range chart, I see that, okay, this is an area of structure right here, okay? That same area or swing level right here, price breaks below it, all right? Once price broke below that, okay, so again, Step one, we got the price tapping into the higher time frame supply. Two, I scaled down the lower time frame charts to see if we got an area break of structure. We did, okay? Now I'm just looking for a pullback, okay? Now, primarily I want to see a pullback once price breaks an area of structure to, in this case here, to an area of supply, all right? So on the lower time frame. So the area of supply would have really been right here, okay? Once price broke right here, broke structure right here to the downside on the lower time frame, you can see it right here on the 12 range. So this is the 4 range, the 12 range. But look, I kept my eye both on the 12 and the 4 range chart. If you look at the 12 range, it broke structure or broke this level to the downside, which was actually structure. If you look at the lower time frame, the 4 range chart, it closed below this area here on the 12 range, okay? Now, and looking back to where price could actually pull back and close the gap or pull back to and fill in the area or imbalance, was right here. Price broke down, it pulled back right to the bottom end of this green candle where we got a wick there, right? So I saw that right there and I said, okay, if we get the rejection right here, basically around 64 or 65, which is right here on my lower time frame chart, okay? Now, this is an area if you see price push down, pull back, and then push lower. There's some selling coming or a lot of selling taking place here on the 4 range chart, okay? Now, there are some FVGs, what they call fair value gaps, okay? Areas where price or where there's imbalance that rests in that aggressive selling to the downside. Now, sometimes price may not pull all the way back to that area of supply right here and tap into this imbalance right here. But if you look to see what happened, it did feel it, okay? It did feel on the pullback right here where this candle right here closed below, right? That green candle right there, okay? All right, the wick of that green candle. On the pullback right here to that green candle where it filled that gap, okay, that imbalanced area, I said, okay, on the 12 range chart, it did fill that imbalance. The 4 range, it didn't, but it did fill in the fair value gap or started to some areas, okay? So what I saw was that, okay, if we get the rejection there, all right, and we've already filled in that imbalance on the 12 range chart, and we filled in, started filling in some fair value gaps on the 4 range chart. If we get rejection, price moving in the opposite direction, I'm going to go short. And I did. So on the pullback right here, okay, I saw it, filling those areas in. And then right here, I said, if this next candle closes to the downside, after filling this imbalance right here, closes to the downside, I'm going short. I'm going to take my shot going short. Why? Because the probability stood in my favor because we were already tapped into a higher time frame supply area. We broke structure to the downside, okay, on the lower time frame charts, and I'm just looking for a pullback to an area to where I can short from. All right, so price pushed down, okay, took the area out here, which if you look at a lower time frame, like I said, is a small area of structure right there. It broke structure. On the pullback where it covered or filled in the imbalance, I'm going short once I get confirmation, meaning another rejection candle or red candle closing to the downside, I'm going short. The thing about it is that when I look at the higher time frame, okay, once price tapped into that higher time frame supply area, I'm looking to see, is there any area of liquidity resting below? Right here at 28, there was. This was the area right here at 70, price tapped into that higher time frame supply. There's liquidity resting on the back end right here at 28. Now, if you look at the 12 range chart as well, 28 is right here, okay, on the 12 range, which I just showed you as a representation on the 60 range chart. And we were right here where we took not where we took the trade from, but we were right here where price tapped into the supply area. All right. But look, what I'm trying to reference is this right here. Price pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, and broke higher right here. Liquidity, liquidity, and liquidity. 3 areas of liquidity as price retraced back to the supply area on the 60 range chart. Okay. So I told myself, if we get the rejection with a break of structure to the downside and price develop or built up these areas of liquidity when it moved back to that supply area on the higher time frame, I said to myself, price is probably more so going to want to aim and start to take out areas of liquidity. That is the overall goal of the banks or the institutions. That's what they want to do. They want to clear areas of liquidity to capture or collect money. All right. They want to capitalize on those areas. They have to. All right. To keep the wheels spinning, money turning. That's what they did. If you take a look here, once I got into my trade on this pullback right here, okay. All right. Rejection. I went short. My first aim was for this area of liquidity right here. Look what happened. It came down to it. It bounced right at the low. It pulls back, okay, and then it broke lower to clear liquidity. What did it do then? It pulled back again. So every time that it broke through an area of liquidity, it pulled back pretty much. Price moves like that, you know. It's going to do that. They have to do that to fake traders out of their trades, okay, or cause them to close their entries early, all right. And I said this early on into my trade. I think my second contract was like sitting right down here. I actually got out at 15 points on the last contract. But overall, it was definitely a good trade. I think I got on the first contract 12.5 points on the first contract, and then 15 points on the second contract. Okay, and I wanted to hold my trade till it got down here, but you know, sometimes the market, like I said, is designed to spook traders out of their trade. And being the case is that price possibly could have bounced in this area here, which it did. Okay, you see what it did? It bounced in this area right here, and it pushed higher here before it wanted to push lower. But there's areas of liquidity, you know, 1, 2, 3. Okay, once it rejected that area supply off the higher time frame. So that's pretty much the premises or the basis of the reason why I took my short entry, and it did everything I said it would do. Everything, okay? So just to show you, this was my entry right here. See it? Okay? The pullback after breaking through structure. Look at the lower time frame as well. I saw we had a break of structure. It was, you know, even though it wasn't a major break of structure, okay, it was still classified as a break of structure. Pullback, rejection. I went short. My first aim was in this area. Let's see here. I think it was right here, somewhere right here. And then the second one was down here. But I took my first contract, I think it was like right here, and then the second one was like right here, whatever the case is. So I closed my position out, okay? So overall, like I said, the first contract was like at 12.5, and the second one was right at 15 points, okay? So it was a good trade, all right? And you just have to pay attention to see when price taps into either a supply and demand zone, in this case it's a supply zone, or you're going to get to fall through with a rejection. And the first thing I look for is basically a break of structure in the opposite direction, okay? Because that's going to help signify to me if they want to move move price in the opposite direction, okay? That's what I look for. I just do not jump into a trade once price taps into a supply zone, okay, or a demand zone. I need pure confirmation or more confirmation and confluence for me to take that trade. Now, being that we're in a supply zone at a higher time frame, what does that mean? It means an opportunity to look for a short entry, okay? But I need more confirmation for me to want to take the short entry, especially when we're in a bullish market, all right? Now, I'm not going to fight the trend, meaning that I'm not going to be looking to take longs into or at an area of supply. It makes no sense there because I would be fighting the overall force of the market. Okay, there was selling that took place at that higher time frame 60 supply zone, that 60 range supply zone. So I'm not interested in trying to buy in that zone. Okay, I want to sell. All right, because you got to look at previous activity of what took place at certain areas. All right, so overall, I posted this trade out on the Discord community. It is on there. If you're interested in joining our Discord, simply find the link to the Discord down below, all right, in the description of this video. It's free of charge. Click on it, invite yourself in, and that's pretty much it, guys, in this video. I just want to wrap that up and show you that one and done trade that I took today, and I probably won't do any more trading today. I mean, just simply the fact is, you know, we're coming into a holiday this week, and Friday is the markets or the equities are closed. So I'm going to just be very selective in the entries that I take this week, okay? But I appreciate every one of you guys tuning in and watching the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. You can watch many more videos just like this on the channel. Click on the red subscribe button below. Make sure to turn all your post notifications on so that you receive alerts, okay, to when I post videos, as well as click on the bell next to it. And please do one of the major things for me today in this video is drop a like on the video, and I appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and have a wonderful trading day. And if you're trading, please be safe.